So in this chapter we have been discussing about units and measurements of different quantities, especially the base quantities mass, time and length. Now we are going to see about accuracy and precision related to the instruments and also the errors that occur while we are measuring. Accuracy and precision are two important terms related to the instruments that we use for measurements. A good instrument should have high accuracy and precision. Let us see what the terms accuracy and precision means. Accuracy of measurement is the measure of how close the measured value is to the true value of the quantity. The measure of how close the value is to the true value gives the accuracy of that instrument. Suppose we are having a rod of 5 cm length and we are using two instruments named as scale 1 and scale 2 for measuring. And scale 1 showed a measurement of 4.5 cm, whereas scale 2 showed a measurement of 4.8 cm. So from these values we can say that the more accurate value that we obtain is from the scale 2. Therefore, the accuracy of scale 2 is higher than the scale 1. So, this is what is meant by accuracy. It is the measure of how close the measured value is to the actual value. This is what accuracy means. Now, coming to the term precision. Precision of a measurement describes to what limit of resolution the measurement is done. Limit of resolution means after decimal point to what limit we can get the values in our measuring instrument. Imagine we are having two scales and the markings in the two scales are as per shown in the diagram. According to the marking of measurement in the scale 1, we can get the readings such as 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter and so on till 5 centimeter. But coming to the scale 2, the measurements that we can take from this scale is beginning measurement is 0.5 centimeter, then 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter, so and so on. So if you observe these measurements, you can see that more precise values are obtained from scale 2. In scale 1, after 1 centimeter we can only measure 2 centimeter. Then after that only we can measure 3 centimeter. The measurements that scale 1 will show is only these measurements. No readings in between these measurements will be obtained from scale 1. But coming to scale 2, we can get more precise values beginning from 0.5, then 1, 1.5. Like that, more precise values are obtained from scale 2. That is, we are able to get a reading after decimal also. But here we won't be getting any reading after decimal. So this is more precise. Scale 2 is having high precision. So I hope the idea of accuracy and precision is clear to you. Let us take an example and analyze the accuracy and precision of the instruments. We are having a pencil of exact length 5 centimeter. We already know that the exact length of a pencil is 5 centimeter. Now we are going to analyze the accuracy and precision of some instruments. There are two instruments that we are considering, and the first instrument shows the measurement of the length of this pencil to be 4.9 centimeter, whereas the second instrument shows the measurement as 5.345 centimeter. So if you observe these two readings from instrument 1 and instrument 2, the more close reading, that is the value which is more closer to the true value, is the measurement by first instrument, which is 4.9 centimeter. But if you analyze the precision of the measurements, you can say that more precise values are given by instrument 2. Instrument 1 gives only 1 digit after the decimal point, whereas instrument 2 gives the reading with 3 digits after the decimal point. So the limit of resolution is greater in instrument 2. But still the accuracy is less for instrument 2. So here if we see that the instrument 1 is highly accurate, whereas the instrument 2 is highly precise. So for a better instrument, we need both accuracy and precision. So suppose we are having a third instrument named as instrument 3, which gives the value to be 5.0023 centimeter. So if you observe this reading which is obtained from third instrument, it is more accurate, that is it is closer to the true value, and also it is more precise because after the decimal point we are obtaining 4 digits in the reading. So this instrument is highly precise and highly accurate. So the best instrument that we prefer is the instrument 3. It is having high accuracy as well as high precision. And we know that if an instrument lack accuracy or precision, then what will happen? While we are measuring, there might occur some errors in the measurement, right? Now we are going to see the such types of errors that occur while we are doing measurements. So we have seen that what is accuracy and precision of an instrument, and we also have understood that there might occur errors in measurements while we are doing an experiment. Let us now understand the types of errors that might occur. Errors can be broadly divided into two: systematic errors and random errors. Let us first see what is systematic errors. Systematic errors are the errors that occur in one direction, which means the error will be either positive or negative always. For example, we are having a clock which is 5 minutes behind the actual time. Then the clock will always be showing 5 minutes lesser than the actual time, which is a negative error. This is an example for the systematic errors. Now the systematic errors can again be divided into three, which are instrumental errors, imperfection in experimental technique, and personal error. The first systematic error, which is the instrumental error, are the errors that occurs due to imperfect design of the measuring instrument. That is, if our instrument is having a defect in its design, then the error caused due to that is called the instrumental error. Now the second error is the imperfection in experimental technique. These are the errors that occur when the experimental technique or the experimental procedure is not followed properly. Now the last systematic error is the personal error. These are the errors that occurs due to personal biases, like taking improper readings due to carelessness. So the problem of the person who is taking the measurements can cause errors, and such errors are called personal errors. So these are the three types of systematic errors. Now how can we minimize the systematic error? We can minimize the systematic errors by improving experimental techniques or selecting better instrument, and also by removing the personal biasing. So this is all about the systematic errors. Now coming to the random errors. Random errors are the errors that occur randomly, that is, it can be either positive or negative. These are the errors that occur due to unpredictable fluctuations in the experimental conditions. Suppose the room temperature of lab changes due to weather conditions, or suppose there occurs unexpected fluctuations in the voltage while we are doing the experiment. Such problems or such fluctuations may cause errors which are called the random errors. So these are unpredictable errors that occur due to fluctuation in the experimental conditions. Now the peculiarities of random errors are that they can either be positive or negative, and also there might be known and unknown sources for the random errors, and random errors cannot be minimized or controlled. So these are the peculiarities of random errors. This is all about the broad classification of systematic errors and random errors. So we have seen that errors can be classified into two: systematic errors and random errors. Systematic errors are again classified into three, or we can say that the sources for systematic errors can be divided into three, and these systematic errors can be minimized or controlled, whereas random errors are the errors that occur due to unexpected fluctuations in the experimental conditions, and therefore this can either be positive or negative, and also we cannot control or minimize these errors. Now we are going to see what is least count and least count errors. Least count is the smallest value that we can measure by a measuring instrument. That is the minimum value that we can measure from an instrument gives the least count of that instrument. Now what is meant by least count error? Least count error is the error associated with the resolution of the instrument. So let us see what this exactly means. Suppose we are going to measure the measurement of this rod, that is the length of this rod, and we are having two scales with us. If you can observe the readings in the scales, you can see that this scale shows the readings 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter and 4 centimeter. Whereas coming to the second scale, you can see that there are markings at the centimeters as well as a small division between each centimeters. That is, the smallest value that we can get from the scale 2 is 0.5 centimeter. That is the least count, that is the smallest measurement from scale 1 is 1 centimeter. That is, for the least count of scale 1 is 1 centimeter. Whereas the smallest measurement from the scale 2 is 0.5 centimeter. That is, the least count of scale 2 is 0.5 centimeter. Now let us see what is the least count error. If you see that the reading that we can obtain or the measurement that scale 1 will show is 3 centimeter for this rod's length. Because this rod's length lies between 3 centimeter and 4 centimeter, so the value that the instrument will show is the 3 centimeter. Since it has not reached 4 centimeter, the value that it can show is only the 3 centimeter. Whereas coming to scale 2, the value that the scale can show for this rod is 3.5 centimeter. Because the length lies between 3.5 centimeter and 4 centimeter, therefore it will show a measurement of 3.5 centimeter. The possible measurement that this scale can show is 3.5 centimeter. In both the scales, we can see an error from the exact value of the length of the scale. And the least count error here in scale 1 lies between 3 centimeter and 4 centimeter. That is, an error of 1 centimeter occurs in scale 1. And the error in the second scale lies between 3.5 centimeter and 4 centimeter. That is, an error of 0.5 centimeter range occurs in scale 2. Therefore, the least count error is the least count of the scale itself. So, I hope the idea is clear. Least count is the minimum value that we obtain from the measuring instrument, and least count error is the error associated with that least count. Therefore, the least count error will be the least count itself. That is all about the major classification of errors and least count error. Thank you.